Okay, we are back. Here we go. We are taking a look at the surface area of a rectangular prism, but we are looking at this in a different way. We still got our net, we still got all our labels on here, but instead of calculating each individual one, adding them all together, we're going to do things slightly differently. So if we take a look here, we've got this side here. Oh, wrong color pen. I thought I switched it. There we go. We got our 10. So that's representing the length. So I'm just going to throw in an L on each of these just so we got that. We've got our height, which is 6. And so I'm going to throw in an H here. H here. Oops, this is in the wrong spot. H6. H6. There we go. And we've got a width of 4. So I'm just going to throw this down as a width in there. So we've got that. Okay. So now if we see, okay, so we've got this thing right here. So if we wanted to calculate out just this square, we would go our length times our width. So let's jot that down in there. Length times width. Okay, we've also got this one here. And so that one, if we were going to calculate this one out, we've got our height times our width. Okay, and then we've got one last one. And if we wanted to take a look at this one here, we're going to have our length times, right here, we've got our height. Okay, so I'm going to put these in some brackets so that we don't get mixed up in there. It's a lot harder to do after the fact. So if we got each of those, we need to add them together, and we're looking for surface area. Okay, now, these are the 3 sides we can see. This is what we have, right? Done? No, because as we figured out before, we got a side that we can't see, we got a bottom that we can't see, and we got a back that we can't see. So how we're going to actually do that is we're going to go surface area is equal to this equation here, but there's 2 of them. So we're going to go 2 times, and then we're going to throw a big bracket on there because we're going to multiply it by everything. Length times width plus, I'm just going to throw this one in there because I'd like to have both lengths in there. Length times height plus height times width. And then I'm going to throw one more big bracket. So this is saying, okay, we're going to figure out this one, and then this one, and then this one. We're going to add all those together, and then we're going to multiply the whole thing, this whole thing, by 2. Okay, so let's try this over here. So we're going to write our formula, even though it takes a while. I wrote it right here, so I'm just going to transfer us up here. So 2 times, and then in here, let's figure this out. Length times width. So we said our length was 10 times 4. Okay. And now we've got our height times our width. So we've got 6 and our 4. So plus 6 times 4. And that's got to be in brackets. Plus, see if we can fit this in here. One more, our length times our height, our 10 times 6. Ugh. Okay. So we've got 10 times 4 equals 40. Plus 6 times 4 equals 24. Plus 10 times 6 equals 60. And this is all inside our massive brackets. 2 times, okay, we got 40 plus 60 is 100 plus 24 is 124. 2 times 124 and 2 times 124 should equal 248. Is that the same as last time? It is centimeters squared. Okay. So that is that way. That is a different way using the equation instead. Let's flip to a fresh page and we'll give that a shot. So we've got our equation here, and I'm going to just switch to green just for fun, maybe over here. Okay. So let's figure this out. Let's identify this. Now, it doesn't really matter which way you label it, because if you were to flip this sideways and instead of a vertical box, you had a horizontal box, you might label it what was height is now length, or what was width, or whatever. So we just got to figure it out and label it something. So I'm going to make this one, since it seems the tallest, I'm going to call that the height. I'm going to call this the length, and I'm going to call this the width. Okay, so let's put this in here. 2 times, big brackets, length times width. Where's my length? 7 times, my width is 5, plus length is 7 times my height is 11, plus my width is 5 times, and my height is 11. So if I am just double checking this real quick, in a rectangular prism, I should have 2 of each number: 2 7s, 2 5s, 2 11s. Bingo. We're on the right track. Okay, so let's put this together then. We've got 7 times 5, 35. We've got 7 times 11, 77. And we've got 5 times 11, 55. So let's put that together. 2 times, let's do that, 35 and 55. So that's 60, 90, and 77. I'm going to take 1 away to make that 110, to make that 100, and 67. I think I'm pretty close to 167. Okay. Then if we take 167, we're going to multiply it by 2. 2 times 167 equals, I can't do that one in my head. 2 times 167 equals 334 centimeters. What? Yes, centimeters squared. Psych, not centimeters squared. Pay attention. Look and see. What are we using here? We are using our units of meters. That's not centimeters squared. That's meters squared. Make sure you're paying attention, so you're using the right units, because a centimeter squared and a meter squared would be significantly wrong. If you ordered the amount of flooring for your house in centimeters squared and you actually needed it in meters squared, you'd be in a lot of trouble. So make sure we're paying attention there. All right, let's take a look at one more, and then we'll do a cube, because the cube is kind of special and you can save yourself some time. So SA, surface area, equals, we are going to go 2 times the big brackets, length times width, plus length times height, plus width times height. Big brackets. Okay, what are we going to use for what? 27 is going to be our length, 8 is going to be our height, 7 is going to be our width. Let's plug our stuff in. Length 27 times 7, plus length 27 times height 8, plus width 7 times height of 8. Oof. Okay, there we go. So let's go. That's going to go 2 times. This is going to end up with 189. This is going to end up with 216. And this is going to end up with 56. Okay. Then in total, when you math that all together, that's going to even us out with 461. 2 times 461 is going to equal us to 922 what centimeters what squared. Okay. Not too bad. Once we know, okay, we need to just figure out the area of each one, add them all together, and then we can shorten our time a little bit by using that formula. One more way to shorten your time, if you take a look at a cube, let's see, here's a tricky one. All sides are 6 centimeters. So that means we know that this is 6, and this is 6, and this is 6, and this is 6, and you get the point, right? Every one of our lines is 6. Okay, so that means that there is a length times width is 6 times 6. That means that length times height is 6 times 6. That means that width times height is 6 times 6. So we could shortcut that a little bit, and we can calculate, okay, what is instead of using the whole crazy equation, we can calculate the area for one side. So if we recall back, our area equals length times width. So our area here is 6 times 6. So the area for one side equals 36. Now, how many sides are there on a cube? If you remember our net that we folded out, we had our middle one side, the other side. So we got this one, and this one. Now we've got a top, a back, and a bottom. So we've got top, a back, and a bottom. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6 sides. So we could go 36 times 6 equals 216 centimeters squared, because every single side is going to have an area of 36. There's 6 sides. We just multiply it by 6. You can skip it a little bit if you are working with a cube, only a cube, because on a square, every side has the same, and on a cube, every side has the same. So there is a challenge question on the bottom you can take a peek at and see if you can solve that one. Hopefully that helps you out looking through the other stuff. Take a look at the questions. If you have any questions, if you need any help, feel free to check in with me. That's all for today. Stay safe. We miss you and we heart you.